Ropp Star Gang, what up? What up? Mossy man coming up with some knowledge over here. I don't know if he knows something I don't know. Someone out to get me, Mossy? Someone out to get me? Is that what it is? I mean, it's a wonderful sentiment that you shared, I will say. I think it's important to approach life with positivity and kindness. Steer clear of any negative intentions for personal gain, for sure. Karma has a way of balancing things out, doesn't it? I would say let's all strive for favor, knowledge, inner peace, spreading positivity wherever we go. And yes, as you mentioned in your nice little segment there, those who engage in those kinds of actions are truly missing out on the strength that comes from doing good. I would say keep spreading those good vibes. And I would say let's keep pounding together. That's what I would say. Actually, I'm going to type that in chat right now. I'm going to type that up in the chat right now, what I just said. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. And of course, don't forget about our sponsorship of betus.com. The link is in my bio. The link is in my bio. And also, don't forget about the Discord. So this is what I would this is how I would respond, or how I responded to you. If you ever use Grammarly, that is a wonderful tool, especially in my other expertise. So that's just how I would respond to you, Mossy. It's important to approach life positively, kindly, be clear of any hostile intentions for personal gain. Karma is a way of balancing things out. Let's all strive for favor, knowledge, inner peace, and spreading positivity wherever we go. And yes, as you mentioned, those who engage those kinds of I've used Grammarly edited my thing. I just didn't mean to do that. Machilius actions. Malicious actions. I don't know. Genuinely misses out on the strength of good. Spreading those good vibes. Keep pounding together. Grammarly walk saved me hours of editing during my evening. Yes. Found issues that I kept exactly. I saw your post. Why not give up a second and sign Higgins? We'll talk more about that. I mean, we're going to talk more about that. I got some articles I want to go over, some other things that I want to go over today. So here was the article that brought me to the John Metchie thing. Here's the article by USA Today. Panthers Wire came out with this article. And I read a lot, guys. I read a lot. So should the Panthers trade for Texans wide receiver John Metchie? Should they? Should they go after him? I say absolutely. And we'll get into the Tee Higgins thing too. Here's why. All right. In football, right? as in life, when one door slams shut, right, another one swings wide open. Right now, John Metchie is standing at the threshold of opportunity in Houston, where Stefon Diggs just swooped in and snagged the spotlight, which we're going to talk more about that with the Diggs things. Now, with Diggs now hogging targets alongside an already stacked lineup in Houston with Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Robert Woods, I think Metchie is in a situation that he's in the shadows on that roster. Let's be honest, because now, but this is where John Metchie needs to think about the opportunity he may have in Carolina, because this could be a possibility. It's a crowded wide receiver room there, so there's a potential here for a savvy trade. You enter the Carolina Panthers on a mission to arm their young quarterback, Bryce Young, with an arsenal that he needs to thrive. Sure, they've already splashed cash on top tier guards. They got Deontay Johnson on a great trade. The appetite's still there for more offensive firepower, though, right? We know that Canales knows what he's after, and that is playmakers who can carve out space on their own. And I think Metchie actually fits the bill perfectly. Now, I know that Metchie has not played. He's only played, I think, one full season, because he was diagnosed with cancer, if I'm not mistaken, right? Was it cancer? I think it was cancer, or it was like leukemia, which, I mean, it's a type of cancer, but I think he fits the bill perfectly, obviously having played with Bryce Young. Now, if you watch Metchie play, he does have a knack for finding gaps in coverage and making plays when it counts. But let's talk about value here. Let's talk about the value here, okay? Because there is value in this situation, all right? With Diggs stealing the show in Houston, Metchie could be the steal of the century for a day 3 draft pick. That's the kind of bargain shopping that could pay dividends down the line. Now, remember, Metchie's day in Alabama, where he and Young form a dynamic duo. Metchie had his best season during Bryce Young's Heisman season. And obviously, those were the glory days. These are different times now. But with Metchie showcases route running, right? And hauled in passes like nobody's business in Alabama, pairing him back up with Young again. Who knows what magic could concur? Now, I'm not saying that would exactly happen, but why not? Why wait? I think it's an opportunity. I say make the move. I think it's a low risk, high reward ordeal. It's literally, that's what it is. I mean, I've always said this. I've always been a believer in this. When opportunity knocks, you better be ready to answer that door. That's all I'm going to say to that. That's all I'm going to say to that. We want polls. Polls for what? Polls for what, Mad Chatter? I have Higgins Panthers saved in my Twitter search. I check it 3 times a day. I'm interested in 33 for Higgins or Metchie, but they might want more for him. Picks from next year should be involved instead of this year. Well, Higgins is going to probably be more than will probably be more picks. Metchie, I guarantee you'll get him for a 6th round, 7th round pick. Guarantee you. I would be willing to send Terrace Marshall over there, get Metchie, trade Terrace Marshall for Metchie, and send like a 7th round pick. That's what I would do. I do straight up John Metchie for Terrace Marshall, and I give them a 7th round pick. That's what I would do. I don't think you're going to be able to get. I don't think you need to give him a 39 or 33rd for Metchie. I think that's too much. It's not like John Metchie's done anything in the NFL yet. He's not established like Tee Higgins, where you would have to give one of those picks away to get Tee Higgins. Dude, this thing is good. These poppies, these things are fire. With Diggs, Collins, Dinkdale, wouldn't Metchie more likely hit waiver wire? Do we really need to trade him rather than just be patient? Pick up Lassiter. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name, Elizabeth. Miss Lassiter. I'm going to call you Miss Lassiter. I hope, and I'm saying, like I said, I hope I'm saying your last name correctly. You have a point. You have a point there. I mean, he could get cut, and we can pick him up. You do have a point there. B. Amos came in and said, hit the like button. Yes, make sure you do that. I appreciate it. Definitely need another number wide receiver teammate chart. Mingo ain't it? No, for sure. Not for sure. They say anything about what kind of money Higgins is looking for. He's definitely looking Mike Wynn took the words right out of my mouth before I could speak. He's looking for that 22, 23 range, 22, 23 for sure. I'm cool with trading players with picks in 4th round or later, but that's it. We need young guys to bring in talent, learn. Metchie might make sense. Higgins, not so much. Cap just isn't ready. Not this year, no. That cap hit, we couldn't afford Tee Higgins this year if he wanted to get paid 22, 23. Now, next year, that's a different story. That's a different story. Marcos, thank you for posting the Discord in there. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. The contract looks good for Metchie as far as picking up in a trade. He does. But I think Miss Lassiter hit it on the head. Metchie might get cut. He could end up getting cut, and we end up picking him up in waivers. I mean, she's got a point there. We shouldn't. Yeah, we got to think about it this way, guys. We are first on waivers. So there's going to be some guys that get cut that we might be able to bring into this roster, and we might cut some guys and then bring in some other guys. I mean, that there is the possibility out there of the waiver wire. Please compare the wide receiver core to last year right now. Oh, you want me to do it right now? Right now? Only thing I'm going to say to that, Matt Chatter, besides the fact that you want it right now, the only thing I'm going to say to this, okay, with the wide receiver room looking like the way it does, I think it's a game changer. Like we talked about the part of this yesterday. And I've talked about it on my I talked about it yesterday on the channel about that about the roster. Where did I put it? I had a picture of it yesterday. Where did I put it? In here? Where did I put that roster yesterday? Was it in fan discussions? Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. So to your question, Matt Chatter, here's the thing I would say the state basically of the pass catchers. I mean, if you want to compare it to last year, our pass catchers are definitely better than last year. Besides Jonathan Mingo, Terrace Marshall Jr., David Moore, Michael Strachan. I would say that it's definitely an upgrade. Is it a tremendous upgrade? I still believe we need to put somebody in front of Jonathan Mingo. I think Jonathan Mingo needs to sit and learn and develop. He is a project wide receiver. The guy can't get open. So I think it's a game changer for Johnson for sure, because he's the guy who can create separation. And he's a guy that we've been craving for when it comes to the separation. when it comes, he just needs to tighten up his hands. Deontay Johnson has to tighten up his hands a little bit better. Okay. And he'll dominate in offense. Now, apart from Johnson and Thielen, that, like I said, that excitement fizzles out for me. Mingo and Marshall, they have potential, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to bet on that potential. But we need more potential. We need more than just potential in this team right now. I know we're going to be eyeing more additions before this whole camp kicks off, and going into the draft. But part of me is also thinking that getting a guy like a Tee Higgins does make sense, especially when you're trying to develop a quarterback. Especially if you're trying to develop a quarterback. If you have Deontay Johnson, you have Tee Higgins on the other side, you at least know you have two established wide receivers in the NFL. You're then, if you go in the draft with the wide receiver position, you're banking on Xavier Legette to give you 800 to 1,000 yards. Like you're banking on him to be the wide receiver 1 or the wide receiver 2 immediately. I'd rather have a well-established, but again, I also am building for the future. So it's like I'm 50-50 on it. It's like what you get, it's on one side I get it, but the other side I also get it. That's where I have it at least from a wide receiver standpoint. Matt Chatter. He probably will hold out, Mike. He probably will. Is Boyd hurt? I don't know if he's hurt. Metchie's worth a 4th or 5th. I mean, Mike, when I guarantee you send Terrace Marshall Jr. in a 7th round pick, or they will accept that. This that's not like a Madden trade. It's not a god awful trade. I guarantee you they take that. Pantherology with the fire, Kenneth. No more Pantherology, man. I had to change the name, man. I loved Pantherology, but I had to change the name. I wanted my name in this. I want the Bengals to pay to Higgins because it will cripple them to the point where he walks. Damn, AJ. OBJ for the year. I think he ends up signing in Miami, Matt Chatter. I think OBJ signs in Miami. Either. Good afternoon. Yeah, I mean Tee Higgins, I could see giving up for 39 for him, but I wouldn't say for Metchie, no. Well, Metchie hasn't been healthy, Mike. I mean, he went through took a whole year off because of leukemia. Like he had to take a whole year off. Metchie was not on the field because he can't play. He was because he had like leukemia or whatever it was. Perfect. Lassiter. I got it right. Nice. Has Metchie been healthy? He's just had, like I said, he's had leukemia. He's never been injured. He's just had a leukemia. You don't want to wait too long though, because if someone offers before we do, then they could get either of them. True. This is true. We need to start drafting and developing our players. We definitely need to start drafting. I mean, once the draft starts and developing them for sure. We just got to hope that we hit on these draft picks, T. Thompson. I mean, you got to think about it this way. How many draft picks did Scott Fitterer actually hit on over the years, guys? Like, if we think about it, like, how many did Scott Fitterer actually hit on? Like, if we're looking at it from a draft standpoint, how much did Scott Fitterer actually hit on? Not very many. Not very many. Like, how many? Like, if you go look at the drafts that Scott Fitterer has had, how many did he actually hit on? Not very much. Yeah, I mean, Stephen Bailey, they're definitely thinking win now. They want to win now. I mean, we're drafting a wide receiver either way. It does not matter. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think if you could get Higgins on a 3-year deal, make him pay, like do what they did with like Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, where you're only paying him 1.125 million, like they're doing with these other guys, with all the free agent signings, guys. Just to let you know, we're eating $48 million in that dead cap now. They're taking that, they're paying these new free agents that they sign, paying them 1.125 million. And I think if you could get Higgins like that and some kind of deal like that, where then you pay him the money he's looking for after this year, I think it's worth it. Well, I hope that answers your question, Matt Chatter. I think they'll sign Deontay Johnson to an extension for sure. 33, 39, one of those picks will be wide receiver. I think so too. Yeah, but he's had, guys, y'all got to understand, Metchie was diagnosed with leukemia. Like, that's why he took some time off. What contenders don't have 2 number 1 wide receivers? Well, Kansas City. They don't have 2 number 1 wide receivers. I mean, do you really think that Rashid Rice is a number 1 wide receiver on another team? I don't. Marquise Brown, I could see it. But other than that, I mean, I guess unless you're including Kelsey, but I would say Kansas City, who's a contender, doesn't have 2 number 1 wide receivers technically. If Buffalo offered a 4th for Mingo, I'd think about it. Again, TMJ and Mingo basically had the same potential. They can be very good wide receivers. It just is that, are they ever going to reach their potential? I don't know. Time will tell. We're not in win now mode. If you believe that, please rethink your life choices. Rethink your life choices. Okay. Elam for straight up for Mingo. I would do that just because we need to add room to that corner. I would do that straight up. We're definitely not. Morgan Canal says that we look like we're in win now mode. We heard that before, Mike Wynn, and look how that worked out with Scott Fitter. We ain't in no win now mode. If you think that we're in win now mode, you definitely need to rethink your life choices. They're supposed to tell us, you know what I mean? Like, you really need to think about that. Like, we are not in win now mode. This is not a team that's win now mode. This team is not built to be win now mode. It's not. It's about I still believe that they're still trying to bring balance and stability to this organization. So they went out, got guys that they could afford and that were cheap and that had good production, that fit the scheme, and that now it's time to build for the future. And they went out and built through the trenches first. And then they went and got a wide receiver. I mean, the guy cannot be a slot wide receiver because he's the guys. Jonathan Mingo was the 2nd worst wide receiver at creating separation last year. And I've showed you that on this channel. Jonathan Mingo is not that good. He was not saying he doesn't have potential still because it was his rookie season. So I'm going to give him the fair shot. But at the same time, him in the slot doesn't make sense. Yeah, I think that this year is again, I'm going to stick to what my guns say, and that is 6 win ceiling, 3 wins floor. I would trade for a 7th round, trade him for a 7th round and Terrace Marshall. I would. I mean, you could trade Derrick Brown. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of room there. There is a lot of rumors about that. There's a lot of rumors about that. Yeah, I'm cool if we come out of the draft with the wide receiver center too. It's the positions of need more than anything for me. Right now, cap space right now, which we're going to dive more into that, but I know as of right now, I think we only have like 4 million still hanging in the balance. I know, be good. That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. Be good. You better hope this man can hit. We better hope Dan Moore can hit hit the lottery on some of these picks, man. I'm just hoping, at the minimum most, at least in this first draft, we at least get 2 to 3 starters. Like 2 guys that could actually start, or are going to be good starters. Now, do I want them to be superstars? Sure. I'm not going to be wanting my cake and eat it too. I want these guys to be good, but if they become stars, great. But not, I don't want below average. No, I know you. I know you're good. You're good, brother. Keep pounding. There's really not much guys out there. I mean, we've got the back. We have the backups now. We got a backup for him. You know what I mean? We got a backup for him. We've got a lot of depth on the offensive line now. I mean, it's the same depth we had, some of the same depth we had last year, but you've improved in those areas. I don't know what right guards are available, left guards are available right now to back up those positions. I would have to go out and look. I doubt I'm being honest with you, keep pounding. I doubt there's anybody worth a damn. I'm gonna be honest. I think Gabe Jackson is available though. I think that maybe that'd be a guy that they bring back. Who knows? He's also played in Seattle, so he might have some familiarity also with Canales. So I'm surprised they wouldn't bring him back. I wouldn't be surprised if they if they brought back Gabe. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Be Good he can do it too. That's what I'm saying. 2 to 3 starters, I think is if you get 2 to 3 starters out of any draft, you did good. It's because it's very rare you get more than that. And if you do get more than that, you hit big time. Yeah, but I just think that you gotta look at it from that standpoint. Yeah, I mean, it's not something that, you know, it happens a lot. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen very often. Let's see. Yep, Gabe Jackson. There you go. Well, we're going to talk about ESPN. Magco 101. ESPN came out with their mock draft, and the Panthers actually traded back. So we're going to go over that today as well. Can we just get to the draft already? I want to know who are dogs and who are not already. I feel you, man. AJ, we've got Oh, by the way, y'all watching WrestleMania this weekend? Because your boy definitely will be. I'm definitely watching WrestleMania this weekend, by the way. I feel you on the draft thing though. All right, let's dive into this. I saw this on Panthers Wires too, and I thought it was kind of intriguing. So six potential wide receivers trade targets for the Panthers. Now, again, we're going to talk more about Mr. Tee Higgins. But one of the names they threw on here was Tee Higgins. Franchise tag. He's ready to roll. Higgins could be, I think, a good addition to our team. I know that they would probably take some high second round picks and for us to get him. I think the Panthers could make some compelling offers. Obviously the Bengals. Now, Brandon Ayuk is still out there. He's ready to move on from the San Francisco 49ers, fresh off a stellar season. I know he's looking for a long-term deal. If he decides to part ways with the 49ers, I mean, maybe the Panthers swoop in. Maybe they get another guy, get a second team all-pro wide receiver to the lineup. Now, obviously, these are trade targets. Cortland Sutton out of Denver. Trade talks have been swirling around Sutton for a while now. We know that we've had talk. There's been multiple talks about the Carolina Panthers targeting him. And the Broncos are trying to shake things up over there. That could be a move. Panther Wires believe that. Panther Wire believes that. But I think that the Panthers could provide him a fresh start. That he needs. But who knows? Jalen Waddle. Now this is a bit of a reach for me from this list because yes, they got Crimson Tide connections there. Could it pay off for Carolina if they could get him? Absolutely. But they would have to pry Waddle out of Miami's hands. I mean, and Miami is potentially facing cap constraints. But now could be but that's the thing. Now could be the perfect time to get him with the fact of that. But again, you're still going to have to pry your fingertips to get him, their fingertips to let him go. Another one. God dang, man. Dude, Panthers Wire has too much shit on their website. That's the reason why this thing is so lagging. It's ridiculous. Panthers Wire. Fix your website, bro. Another one. Devontae Smith. They added to the list. Another Alabama alum. The Slim Reaper is what they like to call him. Obviously brings speed, playmaking ability on the table. I love Devontae Smith. I think he's one of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL. But the Eagles are eyeing their cap situation. So the Panthers could make a persuasive offer for him. And then, of course, we talked about John Metchie already. But that was their sixth person that they added on this list. Let me get off this website because this thing is god awful, by the way. When your computer's lagging from a website, that it's not on you. Because they have too much shit on that website. I'd be interested in Ayuk for sure. But the Slim Reaper is one of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL. Why they won't try and sign Boyd? I think he'll be good for the next 3 years. I mean, he's 28. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't be opposed to Tyler Boyd. I think he would be a great wide receiver on this team. I think he fits the narrative too. I would love to see Tyler Boyd on this team. Depends on the contracts. This is true. The only reason why they said Waddle, and it's what I agree with them on, is that the fact that Miami's in cap hell. They are in cap purgatory, so they could. I mean, I'm not saying they would trade Jalen Waddle, but if the price is right, they might, to where they save some cap space, because they're in cap hell. They are in cap hell, and so are the Bills. If we go and get any of those top wide receivers in the league already, I'm putting everything on Bryce's shoulders. No excuses at this point. Hey, AJ, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. If we got like another top tier wide receiver, and let's say it was any Brandon Ayuk, even Devontae Smith, uh, Jalen Waddle, or Tee Higgins, yeah, I would definitely put it out there. I would put it on him. I would put it on him. There's no excuse now that you don't have any wide receiver or any help, right? All right, so here's another article I read today, and I wanted to give you my thoughts on. I'm using articles to give you my thoughts today, or the past couple of days. I've just been lazy. I've been lazy, but when you're as consistent as I am, sometimes lazy is nice from my end. But I love getting content out to you guys. So the cap situation, prior have basically these waters of salary cap. They've made some precise moves. They're trying to gear up for this NFL draft now. That's what we're looking forward to. I want to break down, and basically this article broke down the financial situation. And it's something I've already broken down in my head too. Just never wrote an article about. I've talked about it multiple times on this show. Y'all guys know that. But the Jadeveon Clowney impact, that's what I like to call it. Okay. That addition of him on a $20 million deal has narrowed the Panthers cap space to roughly, like I said, it's like it's roughly at 3.2, but it's, I think I said earlier 4. Either way, we're ranked 4th lowest in the league now, and Clowney brings brings the talent to the table for sure. Okay. But his contract does put a dent in our financial wiggle room, so to speak. Okay. Now, when it comes to draft picks and cap allocations, we have no first round pick, right? Obviously, due to the Bryce Young trade. So the Panthers have a lighter cap burden in terms of signing their draft selections, right? They only need around 1.6 million to sign players selected with their current 2nd and 3rd round picks. Okay. Now, reserving cap space. The thing is like most teams, the Panthers are going to have to assign some of that cap space for the regular season to address any unforeseen needs, like likely around 5 million. That means that they might need to free up more room before the season kicks off. Now, the options for the cap relief that it explains in this article is that the Panthers have a few avenues to create additional cap space. They can prioritize and go ahead and sign Derrick Brown to that extension, potentially freeing up over $8 million. Okay. Additionally, restructuring contracts is on the table. They mentioned players in this article like Taylor Moton, which we've talked about before in the show about restructuring his contract. Adam Thielen, Austin Corbett, Shy Tuttle. I've talked about Thielen restructuring his contract on here before, but never thought about Corbett or Shy Tuttle. But all those guys are potential candidates that they could restructure to open up some cap space, right? Now, the restructuring strategy is that what that means is that Dan Morgan is going to have to take a cautious approach to these contract restructures because you're aiming to short-term needs with long-term financial health, right? So any surplus cap space created by the restructuring and not used will roll over to the following year. So we're not swimming in cash, okay? We've got reasonable amount left over for the upcoming task that we do have with the draft. But there are several avenues for us to generate more if needed. So we got to be careful with our front office has to be careful with financial management. They have to make the most of their resources as we look forward to the draft. You know what I mean? So, but there are resources. There are resources. It's sink or swim now for Bryce Young, for sure. If they get another wide receiver, a true good wide receiver, someone that's actually can ball out and get open. That's the whole point here, right? It's creating separation. We continue to talk about that. It's feast or famine. Feast or famine. Hell, I think Brandon Tillis. I tell you, Brandon Tillis, man, y'all need to thank y'all's happy lucky stars. Y'all got to thank your happy lucky stars. We've got a guy like Brant Tillis out there. We got a guy like Brant Tillis out there that can come in and do the financial shit that he has done. 35 people watching, only 24 likes, 11 peepers out there in the chat. Make sure you pound the like button. Be good. If I'm trading Derrick Brown, as much as I don't want to, but I get both sides of the trade. Okay, so I don't disagree with you when it comes to this thing. So I get both sides, but what I'm going to say is this: if I trade him, I'm trading him for what we got offered from LA. You know, I'm taking 2 first-round picks. So I'm taking a first-round pick this year. I'm taking a future first round the next, and a future second the next, or a future third. At the future third is a minimum. But I'm taking 2 first-round picks, one this year, one the next. And then either a future second or third in the next year. But I'm not taking anything less. I can tell you that. I'm not taking anything less. And I would be okay with that. But then we would have to definitely go get a defensive end in this draft. Definitely have to get a defensive end. But here's the thing. That'd be crazy because then you could get one of those top wide receivers possibly. Like, who would we trade Derrick Brown to, though? Houston? They would have to give me their first-round pick this year. But they don't have a first-round pick. They don't have a first-round pick anymore because they traded to Minnesota. I'm trying to think of a team that needs a defensive tackle. I have to look. Jadarius, what's up? What's up? Should I thumb it up? Panthers better not trade Brown. It's all hypotheticals, my friend. It's all hypotheticals. Well, I know. I hear you, AJ. Like I said, I get both sides. I get be good side, but I get the other side too. Knowing the Panthers are going to wait to see how the season turns out. We don't win, then the league knows that then his value goes down. I mean, not necessarily be good. His value does not go down based off our wins or losses. His value only goes down if he doesn't perform at the same level that he performed the last year. So either if he performs better or he puts out the same, that does not, based off wins or losses, does not take a player's value down. Y'all have got to stop thinking that. His value does not go down just based off of wins or losses. His value goes down based off of his performance and his production on the field. Let's make that clear. Does it help with the wins and losses? Probably not, but you still got to look at it from a production standpoint. His value will. I don't think his value will go down if he has the same year that he had last year. His value does not go down. His value does not go down. If his production is same on the field, his value does not. Well, then if that's I don't believe that. I still don't believe that. I still don't believe that. It doesn't matter if the team knows we're trying to trade him. That doesn't make his value go down. I mean, I don't. That's not how it works to me. I just don't see that. I think it's based off production on the field, but that's just me. That's the only thing I'll disagree with you on that Derrick Brown thing. Let's see. What did I want to go over next here? Oh man, this one was a good one. So did the Carolina Panthers miss out on the Stefon Diggs trade? How do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel that Carolina missed out on an opportunity? Because Stefon Diggs trade to Houston Texans has now open. So based off this article, they're saying that Stefon Diggs trade gives us a difficult decision or a difficult situation for, I guess, when it comes to, when I read it, gives it towards the wide receiver position. So it gives other team. It's going to give the Buffalo Bills opportunity. Obviously, they're going to go to the wide receiver position, right? They're going to try to bring somebody in the wide receiver position to help them out. So there's a but there is an opportunity here for the Panthers, a good one. And I hope once I explain this to you, the Panthers could seize it. They'd be wise to do this. Now, we talked about the John Metchie, okay? All right, we already talked about the John Metchie thing could be a possibility, right? Houston has an abundance of wide receivers, right? They're probably I think they're underutilizing John Metchie there anyways. I know he's had his issues with his health with chemo or not chemo. I know he had a type of cancer. I don't remember if it's leukemia, but I know he had one of them. But they could, again, we were talking about that earlier in the beginning of the show, that maybe we could reach out to John Metchie, try to get a trade done, or like Miss Lassiter said in the chat earlier, we could wait till waiver wires, maybe they cut him. But they have that. But Bryce and him have that chemistry, that obviously back in Alabama, right? But here, the Metchie thing is again, Metchie had NFL career got off to a rocky start due to his health. Okay, it's a low risk, high reward ordeal. Kind of, I think it's a similar to them getting Deontay Johnson. It's a low risk, high reward. If the price is right, it's a gamble worth taking, in my opinion. Now, familiarity breeds success. So obviously with Metchie's report, Young is evident from their time together at Alabama. Now, the problem is what I'm getting at with this is, and what they were getting at with this is you have an opportunity to go get a young wide receiver in Metchie, but you also but you run into a little bit of a predicament when it comes to the draft now because of the Buffalo Bills trading away Stefon Diggs, and they have the 28th pick. Now, again, I'm not saying that all these wide receivers are going to go off the board, and we're not going to have anybody left over to get. But it does put a little bit of an asterisk on the Bills, that with their with them trading Stefon Diggs, because addressing the wide receiver needs in the draft is a must. And we have multiple picks in the early rounds, yes, but the thing is that the Bills have the flexibility to bolster up their wide receiver core going out because of that where they're at. So I think we might need to think about making it like we were talking about with these trades. It's just made me think a little bit now with another team that could be looking for a wide receiver. It might be smart for us to either go out and make a trade, maybe wait till the waiver wire comes out, maybe wait till we see who gets cut, pick up some guys like that. I mean, I still think that Panthers, no matter what happens in this draft, no matter how many wide receivers go off the board, even if it's like what the walk to Malk did and 9 of them went off the board, I still see the Panthers getting a wide receiver. It might not be the one we want. It might not be the one. It might be the one you want. It all depends who's on the board there. But you can go ahead and forget getting a guy like Adonian Mitchell, any of the top 5 other guys, like Neighbors, Harrison, Uduzier, Thomas Jr., Adonian Mitchell. Hell, you might even see Xavier Worthy go off the board. You might see Xavier Legette go off the board. Lad McConkey could be going off the board. There's no telling. There's no telling. We didn't have the money to pay him. This is true. What happens every year? Looking at y'all's comments here. T. Thompson, I get it. I get that statement. I get it too, Dom 34. Yeah, I mean but we could trade the number 1 pick, move to 2 spots down, rack up picks for 2026, 27. Just a thought. Definitely just a thought. I mean, I wouldn't say no, Dom. A true rebuild takes about 2 to 3 years. It does not take 4 or 5. It does not. Texas Swarm in the building. Scrooston. Texas Swarm. I know he's happy. They are. See, Dave Canales and Dan Morgan are saying we're in win now mode. No, Houston Texans are in win now mode, not the Carolina Panthers. All right, let's be honest. Let's be honest, okay, with ourselves here, folks. Let's be honest. All right, I want to get on to the ESPN mock draft that had the Carolina Panthers trading back. And the so here's the mock draft. Can everybody see? Okay, everybody can see my screen. Texans did it. The Texans did it right. Yeah. They built the team before going after the quarterback. Yep. Yep. I've subscribed to your channel on my other iPad. Just subscribe now. Love the content. Interesting. Well, once you subscribe, Texas Swarm, you shouldn't have to go to a different device, though. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so ESPN came out with this mock draft. It's the first 2 rounds. They had the Carolina Panthers trading here. So it says here basically that, so the trade details, okay. So Field Yates is the guy who made this one. Okay. So it gave us an interesting scenario here of their latest mock and the trade back of the 33rd pick to acquire additional draft capital, right? Okay. So I'm going to break down these potential moves and its implications. Okay, so first things first, as we see here, projected trade, Titans jumped to start day 2 with the move. Okay, so the trade details. Basically, what Yates is envisioning here is that the Panthers trade the 33rd pick to the Tennessee Titans in exchange for the 38th pick and a pair of 4th round selections. And one of which is the 2025 draft. Okay. So you got a pair 4th round selection. So you got one in this draft and then one in 2025. Okay. So you get more draft capital. Okay. Now, the potential player at 33, a lot of people are saying the Panthers would have selected, or he's saying that the Panthers, I don't know if he said the Panthers would have selected here. But based off, or maybe it was here that I said no. Okay, so the potential player at 33 now has been moved. So now they're at 38. He has us selecting Ricky Parasol, the wide receiver out of Florida, who is an explosive, powerful pass catcher. I definitely think he could provide the boost that we need. Okay. I don't disagree. It's not like I don't like Ricky Parasol. Okay. I didn't like him in a Florida uniform just because I'm a Gamecock fan, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. There are other intriguing prospects available at this spot, though, I'm sure, when he was doing his mock draft. He said in this article did say, though, of course, Darius Robinson, the edge rusher, was obviously still on the board 33. So he basically is saying in this article, though, or in his mock draft, that the Panthers probably would have had to face a tough decision between trading back or passing up on Darius Robinson. Okay. But if you think about it this way, with this mock draft, the additional picks, so you trade back to the 38th overall pick, right? The Panthers still have a prime opportunity, right, to address their needs. And then he said we keep the 39th pick and we select TJ Tampa, which I would not be mad at all. Okay. I like TJ Tampa. You're adding depth. You're adding talent to the secondary. You got an extra 4th round pick also. So it kind of gives the Panthers some flexibility to address other areas of our roster or potential package picks for further trades. He's saying in this article that the strategic considerations here is that while trading back basically can be shrewd more to accumulate draft capital, he's saying that it's essential for the Panthers to weigh the value of the available prospects against the benefits of additional picks. Because let's say a highly rated player like Darius Robinson is still available at 33, they might opt to stay put and address that pass rusher need immediately. However, if the value of the available player aligns with the draft board, trading back could be a savvy move for them to maximize their draft assets. So I thought it was an interesting mock draft here. I thought it was pretty cool. But Texans Swarm, you're like me. I got two computer screens in front of me. If I could show y'all, I would. But I got two Panthers in front of me. Like button, peeps. Hit that like button. Show the love. Appreciate that. Keep pounding. Marcos Cash, Rio Grande Valley. I know that whole city lit when they found out they got ticks. Jessen, 23 NC. Panthers don't need a slot wide receiver. Mingo should be slot. You already have Thielen, Ladd, Parasar, slot wide receivers. Yeah. All right. ESPN too. Did we also talk about this yesterday? ESPN came out with something for the Panthers as well. I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember if we talked about this yesterday or not. I thought it was intriguing. Oh, look at that. They've got our draft picks all over here. All up over here. That's pretty. Oh, great. This is going to be wonderful. This is going to be wonderful when we when I go live for the draft. We'll definitely be live for the draft, folks. This was the article. I think we went over this already, but it was the draft needs for the Panthers yesterday. I think we did go over this, if I'm not mistaken. So I might skip this. Or we could just talk about it brief. Basically, they said that the draft needs here are either outside linebacker, wide receiver, center. Basically, they predicted us to go Zach Frazier and Xavier Legette in those first two picks. Basically, that's what they said. But I think we did go over this yesterday. So that's my bad. Join the Discord. Yes, sir. Join the Discord. Vlad played outside Georgia. He has outside speed. He definitely played more outside at Georgia. And I can show you that too. He played a lot more outside than he did slot. Just so y'all know, Lad played a lot more outside than slot. He played like over 200 snaps more outside. Yeah. No, but well, not 200 more. That's a astronomical. See, wide snaps, slot snaps. Played outside. Oh God. Played outside. As you can see here, Lad played 118 outside wide. Ricky, let's look at Ricky. I think he played more slot. But I could be wrong. I need to look at PFF. See what it says here. Yeah, see, he played more slot. Damn, he played 460 pass snaps. Slot, he played a lot more slot than normal. Contested, yards per route run, receiving grade, drop rate, 3%, against gray, coverage. Okay. I just want to look at something else real quick, and then I'll get into my next topic. Pass snaps. He played slot, but mostly wide. That's what I figured. Contested, 47.6. Yards per route, receiving grade, 86.9. Drop rate below 2.7. Grade versus man coverage, 85.6. Who was telling me that he was terrible against man coverage? Because that's a fucking lie. 85.6 over man coverage. Let me look at Berkey Parasol's numbers against man coverage. 71.2. Let me look at Ladd's. I mean, it's a 60.1. Contested catch is 40. I'm picking. For me, it'd be between Ricky and Xavier. I don't think Ladd is as. I mean, Ladd might be good. He might have a great route tree, but he's nothing better than a Hunter Renfrow in my eyes. Ricky Parasol might a bit different. Could be. I could see Ricky Parasol being like a Cooper Kupp or maybe like a Puka. But Xavier Leggett's just different, bro. Just different. All right. All right. I think Xavier Leggett would be wide receiver 1. That's who I think would be wide receiver 1. Guys, if you're watching over on Twitter, make sure you come on over to the YouTube channel. Make sure you pound the like button and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Goes a long way. This is the way, AJ Brooks. This is the way. Xavier Leggett at 33 is the way. This is the way. Yeah, unfortunately, XL is moving. His draft stock is just it's going up and up each and every week. I feel like, unfortunately. So, it is what it is. Okay, Bleacher Report came out with this interesting article. Was it Bleacher Report? I think it is Bleacher Report. Let me find it. Damn. Jordan Mailata, the Eagles agree to a 3-year deal, $66 million contract. The left tackle signed a 3-year deal. I'm trying to find the Bleacher Report thing I wanted to talk about that came out. Oh, this. Okay, so this is the article that I saw on on Bleacher Report. Let me pull it up here. Leggett is definitely 10 times better than Mingo. And Mingo Leggett is way better than Mingo. I don't know how y'all look at Mingo and look at Leggett and say, I see the same wide receiver. You obviously haven't broke down his you haven't seen his game film. No offense. I'm just saying. I've seen both of their game films. I like the guy from Florida State, Keon Coleman. I like Keon Coleman too. I wouldn't be mad at Keon Coleman either. And Mitchell. I would love Adonijah Mitchell, but you can already go ahead and say bye-bye to Adonijah Mitchell. Telling you right now, Adonijah Mitchell will not be available at 33 or 39. Adonijah Mitchell will be off the board in the first round. All right, back to the Tee Higgins thing. I told y'all we were going to get back to this move. So it says here that in the title, it says that the Buffalo Bills only received a second-round pick for Stefon Diggs. Can the Bengals expect a similar return in a Tee Higgins trade? Let me just say this. despite we already made wide receiver moves, right? Getting Deontay Johnson, I think that we got to still, obviously, we're still going to be hunting for more talent in that room. But the guy from the Bleacher Report, Adam Wells, suggested that the Panthers could be a strong contender for Tee Higgins. He came out and said that. And for free agent Odell Beckham Jr. I don't see Odell Beckham Jr. coming here. I see him going to Miami, right? Higgins in particular, though, we all know has been his name has been thrown in our hat multiple times throughout this offseason and before the offseason even start. It's You're looking for that potential game changer in our wide receiver core, right? Is Deontay Johnson that? I don't know. Is Tee Higgins that? He possibly could be. There's potential from both, right? But you got to provide weapons to help out your young quarterback who needs that much needed support, obviously. Whether it's making plays down the field or catching in traffic, getting open. And a lot of people argue that surrounding Bryce Young with immediate impact talent is crucial for evaluating his potential as the team's franchise quarterback. And I know some of you would argue that. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about securing a deal for Tee Higgins. The thing is Panthers may need to part ways for that 30 pick in this draft, among other assets, to get this guy. And it's going to be a steep price to pay. The opportunity to add a proven, talented wide receiver like Tee Higgins to the roster, I don't think it should be overlooked, but do I suggest that that's what we should do? No. I think ultimately you have to look at it from a strategic standpoint. Do they invest in drafting a wide receiver with one of their early picks, which we know they're going to do if they don't get Tee Higgins? Or do they leverage those picks and acquire a guy like Higgins, already a well-known wide receiver, already a name in the industry, right? A name in the, not the industry, but in the league, right? To already immediately bolster up this wide receiver room. Bold moves sometimes in the NFL pay off. Sometimes they don't. You have to weigh your options, right? It's like picking the girl that you want to marry. Like, you think you want to marry this girl, but you might want to do a pros and cons sheet if you're unknown, right? Kind of ordeal. Maybe that's not the best analogy, but I try to come up with good ones. Sometimes they don't work out. But again, you got to be just careful, right? Act decisively, position yourself in a good situation. Adding a player like Higgins isn't a bad move, but it does come with a cost. You just have to make a move, whether it's getting a Tee Higgins or whether it's in the draft, making a move was worth serious consideration. What does it say? Signing Gilly next week? No, this is talking about Tee Higgins. This was talking about Tee Higgins, my friend. Trey Benson has scheduled a top 30 meeting with the Panthers. He ran a 4.3 940 time and had over 900 yards, 14 touchdowns last season. He is reviewed as many as the RB1 in this draft class. His numbers also, okay, and then and then what did he do after that the rest of the season? And he went off against you guys, and he went off North Carolina. Like, what are we talking about here? He didn't get locked up. Man, let me see. And that's one game, though, bro. He still put up over 1,300 yards and 17 touchdowns. So make that make sense to me. You obviously are a UNC fan. Let me go look at his stats. Dude, he had an 85.4 rating against you guys from a PFF standpoint. So he obviously didn't get locked down. He obviously didn't get locked down. I watched that whole game. I was about to say, I don't think he got locked down in that game. 85.4 rating. Can you give me his season stats, PFF? No. Well, fuck you. He must have not got locked down that much to have an 85.4 rating in PFF. I hate to have to do this. Let's see what he did. Oh, got locked up, huh? Got locked up, huh? He got really locked up. 9 receptions, 178 yards, 19.8 average. For someone that got locked up, huh? Against UNC? UNC couldn't. So they didn't lock him up. They were terrible, and they got cooked. 9 receptions, 178 yards. But got locked up. But then there's a highlight right there of him your guys getting cooked. Oh, now we're saying the second half. He still didn't get locked up. That's not locking up, man. What did you expect the guy to do? Okay. He didn't show up in the second half. Okay, so oh man. All right, I'll go watch the second half. I'll go rewatch the second half. Okay. I would say that's an improvement. That is not a sophomore slump. I would say that's definitely an improvement. Be good. If Bryce had those stats with Tee Higgins and Deontay Johnson, I would say it's an improvement. Would I say it's like a huge improvement? No, but it's an improvement. It's better than last year. So PFF came out though with this. I'll show you this with PFF though. Where was it today? Let me show y'all what PFF came out with. Where's it at? I saw it today. Give me 1 second, folks. Oh, they came out with this today. Basically, what we would be doing. Teams without a first round pick. Without a pick in the first round. And of course, they got us picking Xavier Legette. So PFF has us picking Xavier Legette at 33. I mean, either way, South Carolina had a terrible offensive line, but I will say this. And Spencer Rattler did the best. I think had a stellar year as the quarterback in South Carolina, even though he was, um, even though he was, you know, um, under pressure a lot. But I would say that Spencer did okay. Spencer did all right. He's probably going to get Spencer probably. I'm just be good. All I'm saying is it's a improvement. I'm not saying I would be like, well, this guy's a franchise guy. I would say that's what I was saying. Yeah, Rattler said 9 times in that game. But anyways, PFF has the Panthers taking Xavier Legette at number 33. No surprise here. I think it's inevitable at this point that Xavier Legette, if they don't get another, if like the Panthers don't go out and get a guy like Tee Higgins, Ayuk, or any of the guys we mentioned today, unless Xavier Legette goes first round, I mean, it seems like it's inevitable at this point that the Carolina Panthers take him at 33. Just because of his size, speed, um, his knack for contested catches. That's the one thing I do like about him. Obviously, this draft class is still filled with so much talent. But he could make an immediate impact for. I think he can make an immediate impact for Carolina. Some of you may not. I think a lot of people though would agree though for the Carolina Panthers in the draft, the ideal scenario for us, I think would be to trade back in the draft. Obviously, to allow us to accumulate additional picks, still securing a preferred receiver, kind of like following that blueprint, like what the Arizona did last year. They traded back, gained extra draft capital. So I think that we should definitely look into that, especially addressing the key needs that we need, maximizing our draft assets. Ultimately, whether it's Legette or another receiver, I think the Panthers, again, I'm going to tell you this, I think the Panthers have an opportunity to bolster this offense with a talented playmaker, whoever they decide to get in the second round. With careful maneuvering, strategic planning, they can position themselves to capitalize on the depth of this year's draft class, continue to build a competitive roster for the future. I think that's what it's about, right? Cam Sims. Yeah, I remember him. I know he's on the roster. 9 sacks because Leggett couldn't get open. Okay. That's one of the worst takes I've ever heard. It's your fault, Xavier. The guy that's not blocking, just running routes. It's your fault that Spencer Rattler got sacked 9 times. Make that make fucking sense. Well, let's not talk about the other guys on the team, like Trey Knox and the other wide receivers that are on the team. Let's just say it's the one guy. Mm. All right. Let's get in here real quick. By the way, there's still some Panthers. By the way, there are still some Panthers that are in free agency that still need to be picked up. By the way, DJ Chark is still out there, guys. Marquise Haynes. Marquise Haynes is still out there, free agency. Henry Anderson still out there. Gabe Jackson still out there. Mac McCain still out there. Justin McCray still out there. And Chris Wormley. Those are only guys left out there in free agency for the Carolina Panthers that were on this team last year. So Henry Anderson, DJ Chark, Marquise Haynes, Gabe Jackson, Mac McCain, Justin McCray, Chris Wormley. All right. Let's do a mock draft to finish out the day. Okay. Should we go public or should we go PFF board? Trying to think what we should do here. See, with this mock draft simulator, I wish they would just tell me what's the best results. How do I get the best results when doing these on PFF? Like, why is that so hard? Damn it, Bryce Sexuals. Well, we got Brian Burns crybabies. We got this fan base is full of Bryce Sexuals and Brian Burns crybabies. I'm going to make that a shirt. I would love to get Justin Fields, honestly. Not going to lie. Not going to lie, be good. I would have hopped all over that like white on rice. Not going to lie. And Derrick Brown truthers. So we got Bryce Sexuals, Derrick Brown truthers, and Brian Burns crybabies. Frankie Luvu lovers. What else we got? Should we continue? Shall we continue? What other names we got out there? Bryce Sexuals, Brian Burns crybabies, Frankie Luvu lovers, Derrick Brown truthers. Missing anything else? JC Horn hooligans. That's pretty good. Frankie Woo-Woo lovers. And don't forget the cheese and wine crowd. I feel that. Dude, these things are good. These poppy things. I don't know if y'all have ever had these before, but these are fire. All right. Guys, are we going public or PFF? Well, probiotic. It says prebiotic. So I'm guessing there's a probiotic in it. It helps with your gut. It helps with your gut. Be good. You don't think Luke was a top 5 linebacker of all time? Oh, we're going public. Hey, yo, proud Luvu lover. The man was nice eyes candy. Nice eye candy on the field. Elizabeth Laster over here getting all hot and bothered. That's funny. That's funny. Hey, at least we can joke about it. At least we can joke about it. That's all that matters. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. The Jason Momoa. That's awesome. Oh, they fixed it. Look, guys. They actually fixed it. We have the 141 and 142. I don't have to go back and change. I don't have to change anything. I don't have to go back and change anything. Okay. Are we trading back? I think it's smart if we trade back. I really do. I'm leaving that comment up right there, Miss Lassiter. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Are we trading back in this? Y'all think we're going to do a trade back at least with the 33rd pick, or should we wait to see what's there at 33? Okay, I wouldn't say that Steve Smith was top 5. I've had that conversation before. Wait and see. All right, let's wait. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Let's see what's there. Let's see what's there. Okay. Let's see what's there. Let's see what's there. All right, let's go. Miss Lassiter, is that why you're watching this too? Because some nice eye candy. That's a terrible joke. It's a terrible joke. It's okay. I got to, went too far. Went too far. Just a joke. Oh man, that's too funny. Wow. Dude, how did the design? Dude, this is like almost holy smokes. Whoa. Wow. Okay. Damn. So he went off the board. Caleb, JJ McCarthy. Washington takes JJ. Drake May, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, Jaden Daniels of New York. Okay, I could see that. Wow. Okay. And it seems like Malik Neighbors has moved up to the number 1 wide receiver. I've heard a lot about that. Roma Duzier. Okay. I don't see why Tennessee would take him, but that's okay. Kenyon Mitchell. Okay. Joe Alt. Dallas Turner. Fashanu. Jared Verse. Brock Bowers. J.C. Latham. Brian Thomas. Boage, Barton, Teron Arnold, okay. Byron Murphy, Bo Nix, Amarius Mims, Lietu, Chop, Dejan, Botanu, Nate Wiggins, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jackson Powers Johnson, Tyler Guyton, Xavier Ward, Darius Robinson. Okay, lad. So wide receivers left: Adonia Mitchell, Troy Franklin. Damn. AD's right there. AD. I mean, how is AD already there? Javon, so okay. Zach, TJ Tampa, Jerzon Newton is there. Adiza Isaac's there. Frazier or trade back? I'd like to do a trade back. Teams interest. Oh, now they changed it with teams interested for the 33rd pick. So Los Angeles is interested in our 33rd pick. So that's okay. So now you PFF, you're stepping your game up. PFF is stepping their game up now. All right. So if I go 33rd, you give me 37. Again, I truly believe we take some draft capital here. What if you give me, what if we go like this? You give me 37, you give me a future four, you give me a fourth now and a future fourth. Something like that. But Flame for Jesus, his argument about the whole UNC like corners, saying that it's because of Xavier Legette couldn't get open. That's the reason why he got sacked so much. Makes no fucking sense. So you're just arguing with a UNC fan, not a smart one. No offense. Actually, can't take the heat. Get out the kitchen. So actually, sorry, not sorry. No, take that third. Chris, you're greedy. There ain't no way they giving me that trade. I'll offer it, but I guarantee you they ain't taking it. Yeah, they ain't taking that. I'll take that 105. And I'll take a future fourth. I think that was kind of what ESPN did. Okay. Damn. So a second, a fourth. That's and a sixth. So a second, a fourth, and a sixth. What about that trade offer? I don't need that 240 pick. We really don't need that. I'd be willing to get rid of that 7th round pick, but that's just me. All right, I'm cool with that. 33, 240. They gave me 37, 105, 181. Call it a day. All right. Damn, how did Jazan Newton still fall here? What the fuck? How did this guy still fall here? What wide receivers I still got left? Shit. Still got freaking. I mean, you're telling me Xavier Legette's still here, Keon Coleman's still here. Jazan Newton is still here. Good God. All right. What are we? All right. Starting a poll. Here we go. I'm going to make this. Make your number 33 pick. Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be between. It's definitely between wide receiver, defensive line, corner, or I'm assuming no, probably here edge and our center. Or are we thinking corner is part of that too? Like, are we taking, or should we go Jazon Newton? All right, how about this? This will tell me. This will tell me instead. Frazier. I'm just going to put wide receiver. Okay. Tampa, which is the corner. Or Newton, the defensive lineman. I think that's fair. Right? I mean, what other edge? I mean, we might be able to get another, but we might be able to get an edge. Who's available at edge? Okay, we might be able to get an edge at the end here. I mean, I totally agree with that. I kind of want to skip Frazier in this one. So if we start a poll now, what are we looking at here? And the reason why I feel like those are the four guys. I think like looking at this board, it's between either wide receiver, or you take Zach Frazier, you take Jazon Newton there. I don't think we're going to go linebacker here. TJ Tampa. I mean, I really think it's between those four if you're looking at it from a value standpoint. Don't forget about Braden Fisk either. And then there's trade, people who are interested in the 37th, but I'm not going to trade back again. It's not realistic. I put a poll up in the chat if you want to get into it, if you want to get involved in this mock draft. You guys are making it difficult for me to make it because it's hard for me to do this. I mean, he might. We could take a card out of the ESPN playbook and go Frazier and Tampa. Ooh, why don't we do this? I got a better idea. I'm going to end this poll. I got a good poll idea. Here we go. Number 33 and now we're at 37. So number 37 and number 39 duo picks. Okay. That's a Q&A. I meant to start a poll. Okay, number 37 and number 39. Okay. Duo picks. All right, we're going to call these the duo picks. So it's either Frazier, and I'll say wide receiver. Okay. Because with wide receiver, it's either going, Keon Coleman, one of the guys, right? TJ Tampa. And let's say Frazier. We'll do TJ Tampa and Frazier. Or TJ Tampa wide receiver. Okay. Let's do TJ Tampa wide receiver. Okay. Let's go with for looking at this board, let's do this. Let's go edge / wide receiver, or I mean, I think either way we're going wide receiver. So wide receiver is going to be part of it. Or we go D line / wide receiver, which means we would go John Newton and then what wide receiver? There. I think that's a better pull. Frazier / wide receiver. TJ Tampa / wide receiver. That's a better poll in the chat. I'm thinking TJ Tampa and the wide receiver is the move, in my opinion. Like, I think that we go TJ Tampa. I like Zach Frazier. I want to see where y'all's heads are at. Make sure there's 37 people watching. I don't know how many people are technically in the chat because I can't count everyone in the chat. Total of 54 people watching. We've been live for almost 2 hours. Make sure you pound the like button, subscribe. Also, get on the poll, Sesh, Bryce. Ladies and gentlemen, get on the poll. There's a poll up in the chat. Get on it. Get on it. Get down on it, you know? Like Cool in the Gang. What edges and wide receivers are there? Keep pounding. It's well, if Gilmore wasn't here, I mean, I think even if Gilmore, though, AJ Brooks, if Gilmore does come here, I still think we got to get a corner in the draft. But TJ Tampa, all right. I think we got to get I think I'm leaning. Listen, I want to see what y'all. The reason why I put the polls up because I want to see what y'all are doing. What are y'all thinking? But God dang it, Be Good and Marcos Cash. Can y'all two not just get a fucking long? Good Lord, y'all are like two high school girls fighting over the same boy. Jesus. Can we all not get along? Be Good has his opinions and his thoughts. Let it be. Marcos, you got yours. Let it be. I appreciate both of you showing me support, though. I appreciate y'all's love. But I need y'all to y'all two need to chill out, bro. Chill out. Let it go. Let it go. You have your opinions. We get it. All right. So most of y'all went Frazier wide receiver. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not going Frazier wide receiver. I'm going TJ Tampa. I just want to see where y'all thoughts were. Okay. This is nuts, dude. How the fuck is John Newton down here? Marcos and Be Good. I love you both. Just let's relax with the shit talking. My God. Or go in the Discord and shit talk. I'm gonna make a section in the Discord for you guys just to battle it out. I'm gonna make it called shit talk. In the Discord for you guys. We're gonna name it shit talk. All right, let's do another poll. Now that we've got that figured out, we're gonna go wide receiver here. And we gotta get Cedric Van Pran now, though. We gotta get Cedric Van Pran. Let's go with this. All right. Which wide receiver prospect? I love both of the guys, but they just go at it. I love all my supporters, but it's like I have to handle my channel though a little bit. I have to handle it. All right, Leggett. Leggett. All right, so Leggett, Coleman. I'm assuming it's between Leggett, Coleman for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm assuming looking at this list, it's between Leggett, Coleman, Parasol. Who would y'all say that the fourth guy is? For you guys. Who's the fourth guy for you guys? I mean, we could put other and then y'all could just put it in the chat. Mm. Rice? Who's Rice? Rice. Well, I'm putting up what what wide receiver prospects. We got Leggett, Coleman, Parasol, Franklin, Wilson, Burton, Polk. Oh, Brandon Rice, Corley. But I mean, are we taking? I mean, are we really going to go back and take Malachi Corley or Brandon Rice at 39? I'm saying it, guys, at 39 right now. So we're talking about. So are we bringing like a familiar? I'm just going to put chat, or I'm just going to put other. Let's see where the poll goes. Let's see where the poll goes. Yeah, I didn't know. When he said Rice, I wasn't thinking. I know who Brendan Rice is. I just wasn't thinking. Be good. You know what? One of these days, be good. We might make Friday. We might do like a C3 thing Friday. Take a little playbook out of C3. Not necessarily call it the same thing, but just open it up. Open the stream up to you for you guys to just come in and hash it out, duke it out. We'll call it a battleground. Call it Ropp Star Battleground. I've already traded back once. And I got an extra 4th and 6th. James Carter says tight end. Yeah, I mean, we could get Javonte Sanders here. I mean, or Jadavion Sanders right here. I mean, he is available. So that could be included in the other. What do you mean, like a missed receiver? Like he's a mistake receiver, or like playing for Jesus? Like, is he a missed receiver, like a mistake receiver, or just a guy that we're overlooking? I'll be good. I said it yesterday. The fate of this team relies on Bryce's hands. It is a mid receiver. Is it mid or mid? Sorry. Let's see where the poll's at right now. We got 12 votes. Everybody's saying Leggett. He's in the middle of the pack. Okay. Everybody's saying Leggett. There's 13 votes in. It's basically Leggett and only Leggett. So we're going Xavier Legette here. Now, PFF is not going to grade it greatly, but that's okay. But we got to get Cedric Van Pran. Keep pounding your. I mean, this is true. Keep pounding. This is true. I have opened up the Discord for you guys to do that. That is something you can do. Well, I knew what mid meant, but he said miss at first. Be good. He said miss, MIS. So I didn't understand that. Yeah, Cedric Van Pran's got to be next to you, T. Thompson. I think I have to take Cedric Van Pran because the problem is with Cedric Van Pran is he that even though he has him ranked at 93, he's never fought. He's gotten close. Pittsburgh normally takes him here, but I've also seen Jaguars get him here, and I've also seen Washington take him. Has Christian Haynes had any? No, he's never played center. I just didn't know if he had any versatility in moving into center. That's what I was looking for. Asheville, North Carolina. Okay, that's not far. He's not far. Great breweries, by the way. Taking it. I'm taking Cedric Van Pran. I'm telling you right now, if this happened, I'd be happy. These first 3 picks, I'd be happy with this draft. I would be happy with this draft. I get the corner that I was looking. I'm good. I get the corner I'm looking for. Damn, Spencer Rattler went off the board. I get the corner I'm looking for. I get the center I'm looking for. And I get a wide receiver that we're looking for. So now this is where it gets interesting because we traded back. We got a tight end. We definitely need to fix the tight end position. I think we still need to get a running back. We don't need a corner now. So that defeats the purpose. We got defensive line. We can still add to the defensive line. We can go edge rusher here. We can go linebacker. We still need to go edge rusher. I think we might have to go edge rusher here, but it depends on what's available. Xavier Thomas, Javon Solomon, Nelson Caesar maybe at 141 or 142 might be better to hold on off to. Because I'm not too. I mean, Javon Solomon's had 17 sacks last year. I know he played at Troy, but my God, 17. What was his 40 time? Does PFF not give us that? Overall size could prove to be could be his length is a problem. Could be a pretty limiting factor. Xavier Thomas. Justin Bogby. I haven't heard much about him. Now, I've heard a lot about Muhammad Kamara. But him at 131 just doesn't make sense to me here. Metchie last year just returned back from cancer, though. Playing for Jesus. We got to start thinking about, if we're going to talk about Metchie, you got to remember him having cancer and then just coming back. So maybe not edge here. Maybe we wait on edge. Maybe we go Michael Hall Jr. here, Dwayne Carter. I think Michael Hall might fit us better. No. I mean, it's not long enough to be 3-4, 4-3 defensive end. Okay, so that kind of just narrows it down for me there. So it's definitely Dwayne Carter here. 6'3", 305. Oh, shoot. What do y'all think here? What are we thinking here? I'm thinking I'm going Dwayne Carter, guys. I think I'm adding to that defensive line. Because Michael Hall doesn't fit the 3-4 defensive end. He doesn't really fit the nose tackle. I think I got to go Dwayne Carter here. I think I got to go Dwayne Carter here. And he might be the best available now. Besides the safety, Marshawn Lloyd. I don't need any of these guys. I don't need a DJ James. I think I got to go Dwayne Carter here. All right, let's go Dwayne Carter. I like this draft. This might be my favorite draft. I'm not going to lie to you. This might be my favorite draft. TJ Tampa, Xavier Leggett, Cedric Van Pran, Dwayne Carter. I like it. I like it. Now, we can go tight end here. We could get Cade Stover. Or do y'all want to wait and either get like a Ben Sinnott, Theo Johnson, Dallin Holker, AJ Barner still there, Cade Stover. We could double dip and get another wide receiver. But we do need a defensive end. I'm not willing to take any of these guys at 105. So Teden, Renenbeck, linebacker, and edge. So we could go Ray Davis, the running back out of Kentucky. I like the mold that he fit, that he is. Based off what they're saying here is as a third down back, he has good hands, brings back the one cut agility to routes out the backfield. It comes to a pass protector, but he is a willing blocker who has good fundamentals, but is often overpowered. Davis might not have the build and long speed of a back drafted. Well, we still need to add to the tight end room, though. I mean, for me be good, I'm probably from a fighting standpoint, I really don't want to go. Like, for me personally, be good. Like, I could go blow for blow. Do I want to go blow for blow? Do I want to go blow for blow and stand and trade with the guy? Not really. I just rather go to the ground and call it a day, but that's just because I'm lazy. Plus, I'm 31 years old, man. Y'all wouldn't believe it. Like, looking at me, maybe I don't know, but I'm also 31 years old. I'm in good shape for 31 years old, but nah, be good. Straight nuts. If I was younger, back in the day, I'd probably say trade for blow for blow. But now, nah. I'd much rather just go to the ground. I'd rather much. That's just because I'm lazy now. Plus, I only do Muay Thai like once a week. Be good. I only do Muay Thai like once a week. I do Muay Thai like once a week. Sometimes I'll go. Sometimes he'll do an extra one like on some like every other Saturday. Sometimes at my gym, but I just don't. I don't do a lot of. I just haven't taken a. I just don't do a lot of stand up. I do a lot more jujitsu than I do Muay Thai. So in my case, I probably but now, like back then, I did a lot more Muay Thai. Because the other gym I was going to at the time had more Muay Thai, like or not more Muay Thai. They just like there was times where you could go to Jiu-Jitsu and there was time to go to Muay Thai. Sometimes they aligned together, sometimes they didn't. It was kind of weird. I don't know why they did that at that gym when I went there. They would just like mix things up at the same times. That made no sense. So now, if I had to say it, if I'm winning the stand-up game, I'll stay standing up. But if I'm losing, then I know I need to take it to the ground. I think it's just depends. Like if I actually was preparing for a fight and I was studying a guy, I think I would go based off of that. If I like watched this film and like sat there and studied his nuances and what he likes and what's his weaknesses, what his strengths are, then I would go based off of that. But for me, I'd rather just take someone to the ground, choke them out, or put them in an arm bar, break their arm. Or be like freaking take him to the ground and ground and pound. Throwing elbows. You're young, Clay. I'm 58. Hell no, I'm not going to the ground. You're gonna get stomped or stabbed. You better stay on your feet. More than likely, you're getting jumped. Oh, if you meant, I thought you meant like you were talking to like in a street fight. I thought you meant something. Be good. You didn't say like an actual like a actual UFC fight. I thought you meant like a UFC fight or something like that, or like a normal like a tournament fight or something. Not like that. Street fight. Hell no, I'm not going to the ground. Hell no, I'm not going to the ground. You didn't say that. You just said fight. You didn't say. I was thinking you were since you're preparing for a fight. I thought you were talking about like just a regular, normal, tournament style fight. My bad. Hell no, I'm not going to the ground. I was talking about freaking. I thought you were talking about like an actual. This is true. This is true. But when you read it in text, it's. If we're talking in a person, I think I would have got it better. But in but in text form, I didn't get it that way. All right. Sorry. Back to this the back to the live stream and to PFF. All right. So tight end, running back, edge rusher, linebacker, So we got 4 picks left, and we really need to go these 4 positions, right? Because we already got corner, we already got DM, we got wide receiver, we got our center. So we just need tight end, running back, edge, linebacker. I already got a center, Earl. Speaking of fighting, I'm going to be watching WrestleMania this weekend. I don't know about y'all. My boy's like having a party over at his house for WrestleMania. All right, we're going with Ray Davis because I know we need a running back. And I feel like I can get still get a linebacker and a tight end and a edge rusher still here. I think I'm going to get my edge rusher here. I think I'm going to get my edge rusher at the next 2 picks. I think I'm going to go edge rusher and either, what's up, Jay? What up, Jay? Bruh. What up, bruh? What up, bruh? Oh, damn, bit. How the fuck did Braylon Allen fall to the fucking 141? Damn, and Ben Sinnott fell there? All right. All right. Hold on. What do we got? So tight end, we got that. Edge rusher, we got Nelson Caesar, which we can still go. No. What are we doing here? So we go tight end, edge, linebacker. All right, so Cedric Gray, Ben Sinnott. We got Cedric Gray, Ben Sinnott. Hi. I pay the nation. I'm out. That buff may take you out. Dude, I tell you what, man. It never fails. It never fails lately with my internet for some reason, folks. It never fails lately. It never fucking fails with my internet lately. I'm calling HTC tomorrow. I'm calling him, checking in while at work. Nice, Jay. Should have went Kamara, then Braylon Allen at tight end. Braylon Allen and then tight end. Damn it. Should have. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, though. All right, AJ. So where are we going here? Are we going Ben Sinnott? Are we waiting and are we going Cedric Gray, Nelson Caesar? We're going Ben Sinnott, Cedric Gray, Ben Sinnott, Nelson Caesar. What are we going here? Langford C just says Ben, then Cedric. Okay. All right. We'll take Cedric, and I'll take Ben Sinnott. We traded back the 33rd pick. We got a second round pick. We took our second, our 33rd pick, our 7th pick, the 240 pick, traded that to the Chargers because they were interested. Traded them there for their 37th pick, the 105 pick, and their 181 pick. They gave me 3 draft picks for 2. So it worked out. All right. So we got to get an edge rusher. Damn, Brady and McGregor's here. Yeah, are y'all taking Brady McGregor here? Or Jalen Green or Brennan Jackson? You're taking 2 tight ends, AJ Brooks? Are you serious? We got to get an edge. We got to get a pass rusher here. All right. Brennan Jackson. Do they have any? They don't have anything on him stats wise. Damn, he's 6'4", 264. Played 12 games. 4.6 pass rush. Had 9 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, 26 hurry ups, 3 batted balls down. Already placed in 3-4. All right, let's go with it. I kind of like this draft. I think we should do it again, though. I think I kind of really like this draft a lot. Damn, look at PFF stepping their game up, man. So we made the trade at 33. We went out, got the 37th, the 105, and the 181. Now, I know these gradings aren't very good, but we got TJ Tampa. We went and got Xavier Leggett. Van Pran's a D+ there. But, again, Van Pran fits the scheme better than Zach Frazier does here in Carolina. All right, Frazier's a dog. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be mad if we got Frazier at all. But Cedric Van Pran's more versatile in the hips, and he fits the zone scheme that we're running on the offense as a center. And Van Pran, the way he moves and in space is better in that center position. Dwayne Carter, guy that could be a true nose tackle, could start over Shy Tuttle. That will be if we got him, I'd be happy with that. Ray Davis, it's a different running back, more versatile, great in third down situations. Cedric Gray, Ben Sinnott, and Brennan Jackson. I'm saving this one because I think the guys that they reached out to me on Twitter and I didn't respond to them. I did not respond to them. That was for the Panthers fans only. They reached out to me, wanted me to do a mock draft. For a competition. So I just responded to them. So I'm going to do that. Let's do another one since y'all seem to really like that one. Let's try to go let's try to keep it that same route. Let's trade the 33rd, move back to get picks because that's what we're going to be doing, right? Let's do another. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do another on my own later on today. I didn't realize the time. All right, guys, I got to hop off. I didn't realize the time. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. Again, guys, we are live every single day. And in the background, I'm working on a lot of things. I tell y'all that every live stream. Between merch, adding things to the Discord, which I just posted the link in there. Working on getting stuff to do some Xbox stuff with you guys. So lots and lots of stuff coming. All right. Especially if you become a member today, there's going to be a lot of perks in this upcoming season. Hopefully I want to start it this off season. I'm hoping I can be able to start those perks this off season. I'm just working on getting that material put together and stuff like that, and how I can benefit you guys who are watching. So all you guys that are watching, make sure you pound the like button. If you're watching on Twitter, make sure you come on over here and pound the like button and subscribe. People that are already on YouTube, thank you for all your support. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. All right, guys, I'm hopping off. I'll definitely post that mock draft up to see what comments we get on Twitter, because I know Twitter's going to hop all over that one. So appreciate everyone joining. I'm out of here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Keep pounding. Peace.